We're going to get the Kaiser Quartet involved again here. And writing for a quartet, for me, was a learning experience. Luckily, I had these guys here as my kind of laboratory. And it started to click when I started to write for them in particular. And I realized it's the same if I'm writing a song with a singer. I don't sit there and think, what's a cool song for a female voice? I'm sitting there maybe with Leslie Feist going, what's cool for her to sing? And it's the same with the Kaiser Quartet. Once I realized they were individuals with strengths and musical weaknesses, I was able to write for them in more effective and sometimes torturous ways for them. But my first thought was, what is the role of the string quartet in pop music? Because I wanted to make a pop album. Like every album I make, I think of as a popular music album, because I hope it's going to be music that will be popular. Simple as that. And so how do you think of the string quartet as a pop instrument? I think right away, you will probably think of this famous song from the 60s. So this is treating the quartet a little bit like a band, kind of like their guitars and basses and even drums. It's very rhythmic, and it's what I would call chugging strings. That's the sort of Canadian word I would use. I don't know what that translates to for you guys here in French, so I'll just go with like un chugging, quoi. You know, un chugging. And so the strings chugging was definitely not invented by the Beatles. I'm guessing they were probably thinking of some older piece as well, something a few hundred years back. Stop. It's true. Someone in the audience went like, tss, the minute they heard that. It's true. We've heard this so many times, and like when you hear this, you just picture this kind of very quaint, what we would call prancing. You know, there's dancing in English, but there's also prancing, you know? That's like a whole other thing. Shout out to all the prancers out there watching the live stream. And so this needs to be turned into something much more gangsta and melancholy, and I think we should switch it from major to minor. Let's hear it. Ça me convient. Okay, another moment of intense string chugging occurred around 100 years ago, and here in Paris as well. And this was music by Stravinsky that actually, believe it or not, it caused a riot back in 1913. It really made me think, what could happen musically at any concert that would cause you to riot? You know? It's very difficult to imagine, right? That everyone was sitting in a concert hall and they were moved so negatively by this music that they just had to tear shit up, you know? And I wonder, if I offended you tonight, it would just be, you would just tweet, you know? You wouldn't riot, right? Okay, let's hear what was so offensive back in 1913. This is an excerpt from Le Sacre du Printemps, The Rite of Spring by Stravinsky. I made a mistake. It wasn't the chorus yet. Here comes the chorus. Ready? It's the catchy part. Here comes again. Catchy part. Sing along. Everybody sing along with Stravinsky. Hashtag Team Stravinsky. So all of this I listened to with the kind of ear of a rap producer looking for the break on a piece of vinyl. Except I wasn't listening to a piece of vinyl, I was listening to a string quartet, and with the sort of unconscious history of classical music that we all have stored in the back of our brain. And so all of this went in, including the Beatles, including a little minor Mozart and some Stravinsky, and it made this song called Advantage Points.